Well, and I totally forgot what I was going to say. Shit. Anyhow, hope everybody's having a blessed, great day, and I hope that the day finds y'all smiling. So that's what I was going to talk about. Did anybody else have this feeling about NPCs or non-player characters, where sometimes the people that you see around and you try to talk to them, and it's like it seems like they're not there. Like they only have one purpose, kind of like the goldsmith in oh damn it, what was that game? Where you can go into like the goldsmith, he's always there. You can go in any time when you're playing the game. He's always there. He only says the same things, and I believe that there's quite a few NPCs. Honestly, I think that a lot of that or just everybody's asleep. Which if that's the case, y'all need to wake up, man. We need to come together like they did back during Woodstock, minus the drugs, or with the drugs, whatever floats your boat. This is all for entertainment purposes. No suggestions or anything like that. That's all up to you. But research, no matter what you choose to do. There's a reason I said this wasn't made for kids. But honesty is always the best policy. If you lie, you're lying to yourself. There's a reason that they say that the golden rule has been the golden rule for so long. And if you want a really good thing that really resonated with me, you need to look at the story of the egg. It's a 5 to 7 minute video, and it talks about a gentleman that dies, and as he dies, he has a conversation with a entity, and the entity kind of explains it to him a little bit. But for whatever reason, that really resonated with me. I have no idea if that's correct or not. That's just how it seems. Um, but I did think of one other person that you really need to look up if you have any questions about where we live at all. And it doesn't matter what state you're in. I'm not talking that small. I'm talking on a much larger scale. Uh, much where everyone is involved. And his name's Austin Witsit. His channel, I believe, is Witsit Gets It. And it's WITSIT for Witsit. And then Gets It, spelled just like it sounds. But he's one of the best debaters I have ever seen. And he's shutting down guys that have doctrines. And no, I'm waiting for the rest of the guys to show up. I'm not homeless. I was just at work before anybody else is. So thank you for asking that, though. No, I was just waiting in the car. That way I'm not bugging anybody at the house that's still trying to sleep, and the rest of the guys will show up here in about 20, 30 minutes. So, nope. We got a house full. Homeless would probably be a lot quieter. Not that I'm wanting that. So, don't want the universe to take me literally and then make that happen. I definitely believe that we do talk about, we manifest our own reality. Uh, there's one that you guys need to look up is Nero, Nero, and he is a very intelligent young man. He usually wears a white tank top and sunglasses and writes in front of a whiteboard. I think it's Nero Knowledge is his channel, but the guy's he's way smart, especially for as young as he is. And he's read a ton of books, and it talks about manifesting your reality and switching the way that we think to where we're not shutting down the possibilities of our own future and what it could be, as opposed to what we believe it's going to be. Because what we believe does come into fruition. And I've known that for quite a while. And it's a silly one, but I've said a lot of times when I fall into a parking lot, I'm like, universe, I need a parking spot. And sure enough, I'll get one. And if you want to be more specific, you say, I want a close parking spot. And say it a couple seconds before you pull into the parking lot, and you'll get one. You might have to circle once, but it does happen. And used to have a friend that would always say, I don't understand why things always go good for you. It always goes good. I say, because I know everything's going to work out. Like everything always works out. You can sit there and stress about things, but it doesn't do you any good. Releases all sorts of chemicals in your brain. You have a whole pharmaceutical company up in your head that if you can learn how to control it, you can create better drugs than anything that's even out there. So I'm still in that process of learning my own pharmakia that's up there, but you can. And to think that if you think you're sick, you get sick. And our body has a sympathetic nervous system. That's why, like, if people that are grumpy, either you got to get away from them or you become grumpy. If they're sick and you keep hearing it, your body starts to think it's sick too. So you think positive and you're not going to get sick. And a while back, I went on the carnivore diet, which I love I feel amazing, but from what I've seen, you're not supposed to have meat really, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm still kind of figuring that out. I've been doing the carnivore diet for a year and a half now and went from 240 pounds down to 160 and feel absolutely amazing. Like to the point that if I cheat and like have a cookie at night, the next day when I get up, no kidding, it feels like I had like 5 or 6 shots of alcohol. Sugar's that bad, I think. Like at least it is for my body because I get the headache, the whole body ache. I mean, I thought it was full of BS, but I got into the carnivore diet after watching Michaela Peterson, Jordan Peterson's daughter. Thank both of them very much because they both are amazing people. But it has changed my life. I went from feeling like crap all the time to where I felt like I did when I was 20 years old, which I did not even think could happen without some kind of, I don't know, energy drink or something. But I got all of that out, and the only even sweet things that I have anymore, I put honey in my coffee as opposed to sugar. I'm just not a big fan of plain black coffee, never have been. But it's definitely worth a try. My blood pressure, my systolic, whatever, the stuff that you get tested when you go in to have your blood pressure checked, that all went down within like 6 weeks of being on the meat diet. And it sucked because I hated the smell of meat when it cooked. I really did before that. Like, there's a reason we have to add seasoning to it. Only thing I add to it is salt and butter. But I eat beef. I usually won't have pork or anything like that, but that's just my own personal preference. Just never been a big fan of it. But it has made the biggest difference to my body, the shape of my body, to my closet. Oh my goodness. So anybody needs any like 36, 38 pants, let me know. I got a whole bunch that are left. If anybody has any 30-inch pants they want to get rid of, let me know because I could use some. They're not very easy to find, which you would think is kind of funny. But I definitely would recommend uh, trying the carnivore diet or the vegetarian, whichever you think is right for you. From some of the images that I've seen, it's a book out called the Book of Wisdom that this guy has on there, and he's put a bunch of information in it, which it's fascinating stuff. If you haven't looked into it, you should definitely look into it. What's up, Ert? Welcome. Piper, sorry I didn't see your message. Welcome. But there's so many things to look into and to think about that sometimes you can get lost in it. And one of the best things I ever read in a book was that we create our own suffering. And when it said that, I said, well, wait a minute, how do we create our own suffering? Then the book went further into it to explain that we create our own suffering by wanting. So if you cut out the want, there's no more suffering. Which I was like, okay, whatever. So then I tried it. Sure shit, works great. You just stop the want, it stops the suffering. So it makes it pretty easy to control your mood once that you learn that. And that one's by Gerlach Rinpoche. It's called Good Life, Good Death. and it's a book that was written by a Buddhist, I believe, but definitely worth checking out. It's an amazing book. So is The Circle by Ted Decker. I know totally different types of books, but and then that Book of Wisdom, that one's that's one that it's on the list. I've got the PDF. I want to buy the actual paper book though. Um, and then look into the ice wall in Antarctica because it's an ice wall. It isn't that surrounds us. It's not a continent on the bottom of a ball. Try measuring it. Just do that. Go to Google Maps or Earth or whatever, and draw a circle around Antarctica or the North Pole with the little tool. It'll let you measure it. Try that, and then look at the shape that it makes. It does not. It's the only two places that you can't measure on Google Earth. Makes no sense whatsoever unless there's a reason. But all right, the guys are showing up. So you guys have a great day. Hope the day finds you smiling. And I'm gonna do this more often. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Piper and Savalan. Y'all are awesome. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, probably.